We're live. Okay, hold on. Somebody say yeah. I'm gonna say yeah. What's happening? What up? What it do? That's for sure. But everybody in our city says what up, doe? What up? What up, doe? What up? What up, doe? Big M, what up, doe? Salute, salute, salute.
What up, though?
You already know. Let's kick it off like this, like we always do. Hold on. Copyright disclaimer. Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act, 1976. Allowance is made for the fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research, y'all. let me take a minute to shout out to the replay gang. You know, let yours truly and the biggest M I know what you think. You know, leave a comment and we can agree. We can agree to disagree, and we can just let it be after that. You know, and you know, and everybody coming in and out of the live. Don't be shy. Take whatever finger you would like, real cool like, real smooth like. And it don't even got to be true like. But tap on that thumbs up button for yours truly and the biggest M I know, you know. And then my good old bushwatchers. Yeah, y'all. Please, you know, if you don't mind, take whatever finger you would like, whoever's finger you would like, and tap on that thumbs up button for yours truly and the biggest M I know, you know. So, you know, uh, share the live in my TikTok voice, you know, share the live in my TikTok voice. Subscribe to the channel. It's free, 90 nizzle. You know, grab you a membership. Because by golly, you would look way better in green over here. And in the Detroit, schools are shut down again for rigid cold temperatures. You know, too cold for the shorties to go to school. So I would just say you would look better in green over here, by golly. And that's just my opinion. My opinion. Yeah, I think yeah. Okay, so let's go ahead and kick it off. You know, I have a couple stories I wanted to show you, and then this first story I'm going to show you, they did a little 25-minute video after I show you these clips. But a man abducted a little girl from the bus stop. She was found safe. But he did sexually assault her. But crazy work, you know. Kids can't even get off the goddamn bus anymore, y'all. Again, we aren't safe anywhere. So make sure when you get up in the morning, you put your armor of God on, the head of salvation, your breastplate of righteousness. Fill your loins filled with truth. May your feet shod with peace and grace. The shield of faith. Oh yeah, and the sword of Yah. And this was 10 hours ago, y'all. 10 hours ago. Let's listen. By golly. So I kind of let you know a little bit. I'm not gonna read the whole thing, and then we'll watch the big video. Cause again, 7-year-old girl abducted after getting off the school bus. Another candidate. Okay, that's just the same thing. But where's the details? Oh, I don't know. I guess we'll just watch it at the end. We'll do this one last. By golly, my bad, guys. All right, this story right here, y'all. This is in the D. This little girl. Let's just listen. Shout out to you for being strong, baby girl, and her family standing on business behind her. May she please full speedy recovery. But I'm very glad she made it. This shit really be, dude. Facebook be peeing me off, man. It's cause crazy work. Dude, I'm gonna get. Hold on, y'all. Some booty. Alright, got it. If it don't apply, y'all, let it fly. You know, got one more motherfucking round.
The search for a missing University of Michigan student has ended with the
My bad. I had to check schools closings.
Oh yeah, it's the Detroit. They're closed due to frigid temperatures. Big M, what happened to the 2-hour delays? Damn it.
Huh?
2-hour delays, like okay, it's gonna be cold in the early hours, so let's just say 2-hour delays. Bus pick you up 2 hours late, like 10 o'clock. You know when it gets a little warmer out. When I was in school, we never had school closing. It was 2-hour delays.
Times have changed now.
Big M said shit. We went to school.
We went to school and yeah, we had to walk to school. We didn't have no buses in Detroit.
I knew it. I already knew it. I was gonna be like, shit. She said, rain, sleet, or snow. We going to school.
They ain't never closed no school down when we was little. Now these little crazy kids now.
Yeah, again, that's what I was saying. Like they got it good, man. I'm like, dude, they be closing school the night before because it says we might get 3 inches, and then we don't even get nothing, and then our badass kids are stuck with us all day again. I'm just kidding. I'm the badass part. I was being funny, but again, again, let's check this out. A little girl was getting off the bus stop, and she was abducted. She was sexually assaulted, but she was recovered, and she still has her life. So, let's check it out. By golly, it's becoming the new norm.
Allegedly is a parent's worst nightmare. a man who allegedly kidnapped a young girl after she got off a school bus.
From the information received, we believe that Brinley was a victim of a stranger abduction.
And the alleged predator, he is now in custody, and we have new court documents revealing why he allegedly targeted this girl and her family, a family who he had allegedly never met before. We're on the case, presented by Law and Crime. I'm Chris Stewart. The case that we're talking about today out of Minnesota, it's not easy to stomach. It's not easy to talk about. The young girl in this case, the victim, just 7 years old, she is now in the safe hands of family, recovering after she was allegedly abducted by someone who, frankly, if guilty of what he's accused of, is nothing short of a predator. And this suspect, according to law enforcement, he had been lurking on social media, not just allegedly watching the family of this girl, who, by the way, he had never met before. Potentially, he was watching others online.
Did you know the average starting salary for a junior programmer is $75,000 per year, according to Indeed.com? That's $6,200.
And the Facebook groups that this man was reportedly a part of, it is truly disturbing when you hear what Joseph Bragg, 28 years old, is accused of doing in Minnesota. Now, this is his mugshot after his arrest, and we have a lot to unpack when it comes to what he allegedly did on January 21st in Sherburne County, Minnesota, in the community of Zimmerman. Now, this community, it's about an hour away of Minneapolis. And when we talk about January 21st, it was Wednesday, typical day of the week, a day that kids go to school and then they come home on the bus. They're dropped off as they typically are in a school day. And this story begins around 3:30 in the afternoon, because that is when the girl who is at the center of this story, just 7 years old, was dropped off. It's at her usual spot. Her parents said that she didn't return home, though. And that's where the concern began. And the only people who had custody of this girl, the only people who came to pick her up typically, mom, dad, grandma. That is it. Now, I'm not going to show you the girl's face or say her name. There was an Amber Alert that was issued when she went missing, and law enforcement made sure that her face, her name, her description, that it was out there. But now that she is...
I was going to ask a question, because I didn't get the Amber Alert, but is it because we don't live in Ohio? I thought Amber Alerts were nationwide. Asking for a friend. But let me go look. Oh yeah, this happened. They just did the story an hour ago. It had the Amber Alert was sent out at 9 a.m. I thought they were like nationwide, just in case they were fleeing with the baby, but maybe it's just state by state. You know, I had to educate myself.
Safe. We are going to protect her identity because she is recovering. Now, police say about 3 hours after that girl went missing, they received their first call from family. Family said that they had been looking for her, and there was some sort of miscommunication between mom, dad, and grandma about who was going to pick the 7-year-old girl up that day from the bus stop. According to police video footage, they saw the girl walking just about 20 minutes after she was dropped off in the direction of her home. But then before 4 o'clock, they see that girl turn around and start heading back in the direction of the bus stop, and then she vanishes.
After checking with family and neighbors, 911 was contacted. Deputies, investigators, and fire responded to the area. The scene was chaotic. There were numerous tips and speculation being called into law enforcement. One involved a black passenger car that was following Brinley's school bus. Investigators were able to determine that no one actually saw Brinley enter the black car.
This is the news conference that law enforcement gave per Fox 9 in Minnesota. And this is a picture of the black car that was spreading on social media. In fact, we got this picture because it was posted by one of the girl's relatives. Now, eventually police say that the person that they were looking for was actually driving another vehicle. But I'm showing you this picture to kind of tell you the chaos and how difficult it can be in those moments that law enforcement are trying to find someone like a 7-year-old girl. And there are so many different pieces of information swirling online. We partner with Truthfinder for the public record searches that we do here on Law and Crime. Truthfinder saves us research.
Hold on, Lottie Marty. Not motherfucking law and crime, big ass big wig using Truthfinder. Oh, no, no, no. Huh. I had to say it. And I'm going to say it. So if you're listening, Lottie, I told you it wasn't a scam.
Search time so we can focus or got lost or there was some sort of misunderstanding with family members as to why she was missing. Police haven't said specifically what the moment was where they realized that this was an abduction, and they allegedly realized that the suspect they arrested was the person responsible. But there are dots to connect between this family and this suspect, and it has to do with something that happened online. Now, once they realized that this was an alleged kidnapping, the Amber Alert went out. And that is when the pictures of this girl went on social media. When law enforcement put out that alert that we always get on our phones when there's an Amber Alert. Now, this is one of the pictures that went out on social media of this young girl. This is from a fire department in Elk River, Minnesota. Now, this suspect, police say, allegedly took this girl. His name is Joseph Bragg.
Through our continued investigation, potential suspect Joseph Bragg was developed. From the information received, we believe that was a victim of a stranger abduction. Through investigative techniques, we developed a general location of the suspect and potential vehicles involved. One of the vehicles was identified as a white Dodge Ram pickup. A cops alert was issued coordinating with law enforcement agencies in Albert Lea.
You hear law enforcement talk about Albert Lea, Minnesota. That's a community about 2 hours south of where this girl lived in Zimmerman. Albert Lea is near the Iowa border. And according to court records, law enforcement found that Bragg allegedly rented a white Dodge Ram truck with Tennessee plates. And then he had his cell phone on him, according to police. And as we know from a lot of these stories, that provides very critical information and location data that detectives can use to track someone. And that is what they did in this case. And they saw that Bragg was allegedly headed in the direction of Iowa. And again, that Amber Alert was out at this point. Now, in a story like this, where there are just so many disturbing details, it is important to point out the good parts. And that is certainly the case when you think of this young girl who is now back with her family, though she has a lot of recovery ahead of her. But then also you take a look at how the community responded in Minnesota, with dozens of people coming out volunteering to find this girl in the middle of the night.
Shout out to that community for standing on business. Shout out to y'all. That's how you do it. It takes a village.
And they sure went out there deep.
Oh, and like, are those white tea people? Oh yeah, shout out to the white people rolling deep for theirs.
This is a picture that was posted by a state senator for the town of Zimmerman, Minnesota. And volunteers there, they came out to help with the search. This is a picture of all of them gathering at the girls' school before they canvassed the area. Now, as that was going on, this grassroots search, police were zeroing in on Joseph Bragg in hopes they could find this girl. Police say at 12:34 in the morning. And remember, this girl went missing around 3:30, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So she had allegedly been with this man for several hours. But at 12:34, police spotted that Dodge Ram truck at a gas station in Albert Lea, Minnesota. Police then pull that truck over. Bragg is driving it. And they say inside the truck, it was just filled with items, to the point that it made it really difficult when you looked inside to see whether anyone else was there. But police say after further observation, an officer was able to observe a juvenile female in the back seat of the vehicle with blonde hair consistent with the description of victim A. And according to arrest documents, when asked who else was in the vehicle, Bragg allegedly said the name Nova. And that's not the girl's name. Now, that girl, though, was in a child's booster seat inside the vehicle. Joseph Bragg was taken into custody. That girl was safely in the custody of law enforcement.
So this one is cool. You basically connect your Shopify account and it's able to pull in your product catalog. And then from there,
Enforcement. Now, we still have a long way to go in breaking down what allegedly happened in the hours after Bragg allegedly, and I'm saying allegedly because he is innocent until proven guilty, that Bragg allegedly had this girl. We have a lot to talk about there because it will be very critical when it comes to what prosecutors.
See, look at them breaking it down. Look at them advocating. Look at
Yeah,
them-
but wait a minute. Wait a minute now. We're not gonna go white and black. The white folks did what they people. No, we're not about to do that.
I know that's gonna be too much. We gotta find a healthy medium, right, Big M?
Yeah, because my people, yeah, we hang up our people too. It's just some black people that wasn't raised right.
No, that part. That I mean, a lot actually. I mean, more not raised right than raised right. If you know what I mean.
No, I beg to differ.
No, I'm saying like I was saying. Oh, maybe I mixed it up. You know how I articulate myself wrong sometimes. I was agreeing with you.
Okay.
All right, y'all. We're about to listen up a couple more minutes, and then we're gonna get into Janiyah McMichael Rogers. I found some, more videos, and I'm wondering, cause it's weird. I've heard a lot of stories, but now this whole page, and it's got like some very, very interesting details that I've never heard. Like, I really hope. Never mind. Crazy world. This is America.
Executing him will look like. And it's also going to be incredibly critical to break down what he allegedly was up to online. But let's first talk about how Bragg allegedly targeted this victim and her family.
We talked about how the suspect in this case targeted her, or do you know the family? Can you elaborate on that at all?
The only thing that I can tell you that there was a social media tie. And that's still kind of an active part of the investigation, so we don't really want to go into further detail on that.
So in the news conference, police wouldn't reveal what the social media tie was. But in these court documents we have, there is more insight here. So it reads that the girl's mom told police that she did have an odd online interaction in early December with a profile online with someone named Joseph Bragg. And she said that Bragg added her on Facebook a little more than a month ago. And she thought that he was someone who she knew just by looking at his profile picture. So she added him back. But then she realized that he actually was a stranger. They had never met before. She said that Bragg allegedly started asking her questions about herself and her family. And he asked if she had any children. And then he reportedly went on to say that he wanted children and, quote, was not discouraged to learn a woman already had children. And he also allegedly, quote, indicated desire to engage in activities with children. Now, this is a Facebook profile that we found for Joseph Bragg. And you can see that he is in pictures with a young girl, and it's unclear who that girl is. Bragg also told the girl's mom in the Facebook chat that he worked in childcare. And this is incredibly disturbing. Law enforcement was asked about that.
We're seeing mothers say that he was reaching out to them on Facebook groups, posing as a nanny. Do you know if there were other kids that he had attempted to take, or was he working as a nanny? Is there any information you can?
What I can tell you, as I said in the beginning, pretty still involved in this investigation. That's a piece of it that I don't think we can talk about at this point right now.
So law enforcement was asked about Bragg marketing himself as a babysitter online. And this appears to be where that question came from. So not only did we find what appears to be Bragg's Facebook profile, but we also found a Facebook group for moms looking for babysitters in Minnesota. And there's a group admin who posted a picture of Bragg's Facebook account saying that he had been banned from the group after the information came about, showing that he was the one responsible for.
Yolanda, keep it 100. Salute, salute, salute. Thank you for pulling up on yours truly in the biggest M I know. It's been a while. I hope y'all, My bad. I hope you're being smooth with it, cool with it, and true with it. It's good to see you. It's good to see you.
Hey, Yolanda.
For this alleged abduction. And it appears this man who allegedly abducted a girl was marketing himself online as someone who could take care of kids. There's another group admin who wrote, quote, "It's come to our attention that the abductor, Joseph Bragg, of the little girl was a part of this group at one point. Please make sure that if he has reached out to you, you take proper safety precautions of blocking the account." And we have seen moms post messages that they say show that Bragg.
Well, you see, Yolanda, we have this Brad guy here. In this I think year old girl was getting off the bus and he abducted her. He sexually assaulted her. He plotted on it, and but thank goodness she was found alive. I know you came in late. My bad. Sorry, I should have updated you. That was rude of me.
Had reached out to them saying something along the lines of, if you're okay for a male to look after your kids, I can be a babysitter. And if all of that is true, Disturbing doesn't even explain a fraction of it. Now, police say when Bragg was arrested, he refused to provide a statement to law enforcement. Court records detail what else investigators claim they discovered about Bragg, and we are going to be very delicate with this next part of the story because police say that Bragg allegedly brought the girl to a home after allegedly taking her from the bus stop about 45 minutes away from where that alleged abduction occurred. Police say that they found Bragg's car at that location, which they call a home. And they also say that Bragg allegedly told a neighbor if he could store his vehicle there because he was planning to go out of state. Bragg then allegedly used a ride share to take that girl to a hotel about 10 minutes away. And police say a room was reserved for roughly a month from December 27th to January 20.
Yolanda says, "Hey, Big M." All right, y'all. Let's go ahead and I want to show y'all. Okay. And then
Hey.
let's just
This man, he went through a lot to get some kids.
Man, dude, that was wild. That was like some straight sinister plot, like wicked plots evil. It says right in the good book, they can't sleep until the And again, there's six things he hates out here, y'all. There's 6 things he hates out here. Just like I told y'all to wear that armor of God. There's 6 things he hates, and that's a lying tongue, hands that shed innocent blood, a heart that plots evil, the false witness who utters lies, and he who sows discord among others. So the false witness that plots evil. And remember that song, "Ain't no rest for the wicked." So let's go ahead and take a look at some clips that I wonder. We've been really I've been really studying about some things and about compromising the integrity of cases and things like that, and hindering cases, and by golly, when you know better you do better. And back in my first coming to the scenes, and I did I could have, who knows, I don't know, I could get subpoenaed, I don't know, because I did. I mean, in my opinion, I think that because I didn't know any better. So there's things that I did that could have hindered this case. And I hate to say it, but I think about everyone on this here internet hindered the case, not just me, but again, a lot of people, never mind. So let's just go ahead and take a look at these, and I hope that this is true, because I followed this case and covered it, and half of the stuff that I've heard in this, I don't. The FBI told us there was foul play, and then to go and just to think, even if, and to just say that this was made up, To go to extravagant lengths to cover a case as a male and then like plant panties to try to say that they were like the child's just so you could do a story. I'm gonna leave it at that.
Huh?
I'm gonna leave it at that. You heard me.
Roll the clip. Let's see.
I hate when it does this. That freaking. Hold on. Let me try to see if I can fix it. Hold on, y'all. 2 seconds. I need to bring this back. Come on. Alright, whatever. We'll clickety clack back and forth. This makes it harder. Alright. Right, sure. So let's start off. Let me see this one. Oh, down here. Do. What the fuck? Here we go. Man. Oh, man. Breathe.
Then I definitely want to mention this, and I have to. That video that y'all seen with Janiyah hugging her grandmother Dahlia in the video, right? All that looked like it's straight love and it's fine and dandy. The only reason why that took place is because Jasmine asked her sister, Twyla, for some money and told her the only way they would see Janiyah on that day of that video is if Twyla give her some money. That's why.
I want to know who's running this page because Dark Times, Charlie Bacardi, yeah, because you're the one who talks about the panties and all this stuff, and so I want to know who runs this page.
You seen Janiyah there.
Okay, Mom.
In that video. It's sad because with Jasmine, money talks with her. Money talks with her. You understand what I'm saying? So, let me finish. And we're going back to the dude, Nathaniel. I asked him in my live, and y'all go back to it, do he think Janiyah ran away? And he simply said, it's a lot going on. You can go back to it, and it's actually at the 36:50 mark of that live, where he said it's a lot going on. But my thing is, what's going on? Here it is, the same man that said he's a minister, he's a caseworker. You understand what I'm saying? I asked him the question, do you think Janiyah ran away? And his answer was, it's a lot going on. But if you got these titles as a minister, as a caseworker, you failed Janiyah and now reporting it. So what do you mean about it's a lot going on. When I asked you, do you think Janiyah ran away? It's a bunch of bullshit. It's a bunch of bullshit. And just like how Jasmine and Kiara, when I first came aboard, they seen my resume. So they thought that I'd be the perfect candidate to help them falsely accuse innocent people. But the moment I
Please stop me if I'm wrong, but like, isn't this set? It's called Janiyah Michaels Part 2. I'm confused. Am I like that blowed? I'm lost. What is going on this page? What the fuck? Big M, am I blowed?
I really didn't hear the question. I'm sorry. I was coughing.
Oh no, you're good. You're good. Nothing. Absolutely. Thanks for pulling up on yours truly, and the biggest. I know. You know. Absolutely. Thank you. Salute. Salute.
Hey, Carla Henry.
didn't help them with that job that they wanted to do, to falsely accuse somebody, now I done became public enemy number one. You understand what I'm saying? Now, my thing is with Nathaniel, he might not have physically removed Janiyah, but I do think a lot of things transpired. And he is a part of a lot of them things that transpired between 1951 to Yolanda House.
Big Mama. Salute, salute, salute. Thanks for pulling up on yours truly. And the biggest I know, you know?
Big Mama.
I be thinking a lot of Big Mama. Big
I do feel like them kids was molested, not just by members of Jasmine family, but members of Kiara family as well. You understand what I'm saying? Everybody knows Yolanda would do whatever it takes to keep her husband happy, even if it's allowing her husband to molest a 13-year-old baby. And the reason why I'm pointing that out, because I noticed in my live, if y'all go back to
Hold on, we're gonna be taking a commercial break real quick. Big M, answer the phone.
Okay.
Sorry about that. Sorry about that. Hold on.
Thank you, Big Mama.
Carla says I'm here for the children. Have you been on long? No, not that long. We just started covering Janiyah. We were covering another story. We just started Janiyah. This is the first video for Janiyah. I just want to know whose page this is. And again, I just want to know whose page this is. because there's some videos on here that are very, I hope it didn't hinder the case, because we've been talking about, compromising, because, the people that are, we're journalists and we're advocating, and when we advocate for children, we got to be careful that what we do and say, because we don't want to compromise the integrity of the case. No, this is a content creator. This is a advocate content creator. The guy on the screen, I don't know whose page this is though. But this page has a bunch of other videos on it, and there's like a video of like found panties, and there was the FBI didn't say nothing about none of that. Like, it's like weird. So like, I really want to know who's behind this page, because obviously they're I don't know. Never mind. I just don't know. But it's just, I want to know who. It's Charles Bacardi, Dark Times. Oh my God, it's sad. What's sad? This whole story, Janiyah Michael Rogers. Please help bring Janiyah McMichael Rogers home. She was 13 years old. She was last seen at the 1900 Virginia Street, also known as Malcolm X Boulevard, in Gary, Indiana. It was on August 11th, the late night hours, going into the early hours of August 12th, 2024. She has still not been found. It's alleged that she was pregnant. The FBI has said foul play was involved. But that's it. That's the facts. There were search warrants. There were searches done. People were being, pew-pewed at the searches and stuff like that. So, like, yeah, I don't know. Let's just keep listening. So, I just want to know who's Dark Times. Interesting. And, I'm not trying to be a dick, but, like, this video, wait, I know this is Casey on the screen, but they're just playing the interview. This ain't Casey's page. He don't have a YouTube. He be on Facebook and Tiki of the Taka Taka. And correct me if I'm wrong, but yeah, he's on Facebook. He don't have a YouTube channel. Yeah, I know that's him on the screen, but yeah, no, Charles Bacardi, Dark Times is not KC the bodyguard. But that is him on the screen, and, he did a great job, covering the case for sure. Always give flowers where it's due, and I do.
To it, how he spoke on, how he noticed that, how Janiyah was starting to blossom. What the fuck do that mean? And why are you paying so much attention to this little girl blossoming? See, I'm the type of person where.
Wait a minute, because listen, I seen this dude make a post on TikTok and tell Santa Claus that all he wanted for Christmas was Janiyah McMichael Rogers to be found. What? Hold on, let me go on mute.
Yeah. Any case that I jump on, whether it's you see me with the Ariana Taylor case, you see me with the Kyron Carter case, the Davion Cummins, every case that I jump on, I'm not just the type of person to just come and just second guess shit. I'm a dig down to it, because I'm a true believer that People just don't up and disappear. And even if it's somebody that's running away, it's a reason why that person is running away. And if you ask me, just reflecting back on things that Jasmine said about her own daughter, to me, it feels like Janiyah was given too much responsibility. Jasmine didn't want to be a mother, so she made her kids become the mother of the other kids. You understand what I'm saying? And to this day, I'm still looking forward to talking to the FBI. You know, a lot.
Yeah, dark times, that, yeah, one or the other, but it's Bacardi. Say what? What do you mean?
A lot of stuff that I can't share on social media, but I definitely need to sit down face to face with the FBI, man, because this is going on too long, man. It's going on too long. I don't trust Gary at all, because Kiara does have affiliation with Gary police officers, as well as Jasmine. Did you know that Jasmine got family members that's East Chicago police officers? You understand what I'm saying? So my thing is, back to Nathaniel, dude, now he has me thinking when.
Hold on, you're right, but you know it's weird because it's like whoever's page this is, they have like a voice transmitters and it sounds like a robot. So how do you? I didn't think it was. I mean, it sounded like a robot to me, but maybe yeah, like a woman robot. Huh. Interesting. Because I know he works with a woman on Facebook. This is getting weird. Let me go on mute. Hold on, man, because you know I don't want to crack some shit out loud. This is crazy. My gut is my intuition is this is weird. Something ain't right. Who that's running this page? How do you know? Who is it? Because Charlie or Bacardi is not a woman name. So who is it then, since you know? It's a robot voice. What? How do you know who's behind this page, Carl Henry? Now you gotta tell me. You just said you know. By saying that. Who's behind this page? Because why would No, I just want to know who is it. Someone? Is it your friend or something? Is that how you know it's a woman?
She not gonna tell us something.
And on this page, because I ain't never on this page, it actually, Carla, it's a cool. I'm gonna figure it out. Trust me. Now I'm gonna know, because this is my stomach's telling me like this is something ain't right with this. Something ain't right with this. Something ain't right. Something ain't right. Like, it's got my heart racing, because like what if it's someone like trying to this ain't good, because there's some bad things on this page. Definitely there's the integrity of the case definitely compromised with the videos on this page. By golly.
as well as Jasmine.
We have got to the point where literally anybody can build a fully working app without knowing how to code. This is Base 44.
Back with the case of Janiah McMichaels, the 13-year-old girl that's still missing out of Gary, Indiana. Now, I've been following this case a lot, and I'm actually trying to play catch up. It's a lot going on. I have some previous videos, but I need to catch up. And I intend to catch up. This has been happening for almost 10 months now. This little girl has been missing since either June 10th, 2024, or August 11th, 2024. So right there, with the grandmother, the maternal grandmother, saying June 10th, and the mother saying August 11th, right there, it's a red flag. They don't even particularly know when this little girl had went missing. Now, according to Missing, Lost, and Trafficked, I follow that a lot, there are pink panties that were found.
Hold on a minute. Law
Like
and traffic.
a woman to me.
Wait, what? What, Big M?
Sounds like a woman to me.
No, it is a woman, but she just said. Okay, so the last
Missing,
video.
lost in traffic. Yes.
Yeah, and that's who KC be working with on Facebook. That's his partner. What? Hold on, let me go click on another video. Hold on a minute. Hold on a minute.
Each and every one of you, brick by brick, there will be generational bad habits exposed. Every secret will be exposed. I'm going to stand on business for this baby. We're going to find this baby. Whether y'all lead us to her and admit, or we just got to turn up every part of Gary to do what we have to do to find this baby. Oh yeah, this is not going to be a...
Brian is the best content marketing team lead I've ever worked with, but before he created his content calendar using
Everything in this video is alleged. He is calling out Jasmine McMichael, Kiara Bates, Nathaniel, and Yolanda Walker. There are some people who report on this missing little girl, and that's it. There are some people who are physically searching for this missing little girl, and that's it. There is someone who is reporting and searching for this missing little girl. His name is KC Bodyguard. I think he's going to be unstoppable with getting down to the truth and finding Janiah McMichael Rogers.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? You already know who I am, but it's not about me.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I thought it was like a big problem to like mention CC's names and stuff. Like, wait a minute. Hold on a minute. By golly. Oh yeah. You weird. Oh, let me go on my mute. Oh, yeah. Big M, I want to end this stream right now. Oh my goodness. I know you lying. Oh yeah.
Well, follow your first part. First man.
Oh, hold on a minute. And that makes me think, hold on 1 second. Oh, because there was another page and it was like voice. Hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. Again, hold on. Bear with me, y'all. My hands are a little slippery from my potato chips. They were so good. And yes, I'm going to wipe this shit down when I'm done.
If you're with your client, but you're too busy. On August 11th.
All right, I found it. Hold on. This is, hold on. If I, hold on. I'm not only. The name of this page is Strange Bar and Grill True Crime. Okay. Hold on. I'm about to crack something. I feel it. I'm gonna crack something. They need to hire me.
th, 2024. Just last month in Gary, Indiana, 13-year-old Janiyah Abrielle McMichael Rogers would leave the house she shared with her mother Jasmine McMichael and her siblings in a rush. The night before the first day of school, she would have a disagreement with her mother and run to her room and slam the door. The next morning, her mother Jasmine would get up early to get the kids up and ready for school. When she noticed the front door was ajar, alarmed, she would go on to check on her children, going room to room. That's when she noticed the back door was also unlocked and her daughter Janiyah was nowhere to be found. She noticed some of Janiyah's clothing was also missing. Panicked, Jasmine would alert the police and report her missing. She reported that Janiyah was spotted on surveillance camera and got into a car with an individual, but investigators say this isn't true and can't corroborate the claim. What happened to Janiyah? Is there something more to this story? According to some reports, the last time anyone has physically seen Janiyah was in June of this year. But why was she reported missing on August 11th? I smell foul play. Does mom and her girlfriend Kiera have something to hide? Welcome back to the Strange Bar and Grill. Today we have an interesting case for you. The missing persons case of Janiyah McMichael Rogers. Janiyah's real name is Janiyah Rogers, as stated on her birth certificate. She was born to Antonio Rogers and Jasmine McMichael. Shortly after Janiyah was born, her parents split up and Janiyah would live with her mother on the 1900 block of Virginia Street in Gary, Indiana. She's the oldest of 6 siblings, and not much is known about her childhood. But it sounds like she had a rough upbringing. CPS would be called to her household regularly, with over 20 reports filed. Family and friends claimed that living conditions in her mother's home were below standard and could be seen as a health concern. According to Janiyah's father, Jasmine hasn't allowed him to visit her for years. Even when he would spot her out at a community event and he attempted to speak to Janiyah, he would be threatened with physical violence, and at one point was jumped by Jasmine's boyfriend and her friends. Eventually, out of frustration, Antonio would stay away. Jasmine had a history of alienating her children's fathers, as the father of her other 6 children had been banned from visiting their children and met similar fates. On August 10th, the night before her disappearance, which was also the night before the first day of school and also happened to be one of Janiyah's siblings' birthday, Jasmine, Janiyah, her mom's girlfriend, Kiera Bates, and her 6 siblings were all having a good time celebrating, according to Jasmine, until she and Janiyah got into a heated argument over whether Janiyah was pregnant because she noticed she wasn't using any pads. She stated that if she's pregnant, she'd beat and kick the baby out of her. After hearing her mother talk to her like that, Janiyah ran to her room and slammed the door. And that was the last time anyone has seen or heard from her, according to Jasmine. Jasmine stated that she got up around 12:45 a.m. to use the restroom and noticed her back door was unlocked and her front door was cracked open. When she noticed it, she closed and locked both doors. She then went upstairs to check on the kids and noticed Janiyah was gone. While she was standing in Janiyah's room, she noticed empty coat hangers hanging up in the closet. She also noticed a pile of school supplies on the floor, as if she dumped out her book bag. Her mother stated she was wearing a black hooded sweatshirt, black pajamas, and black and red shoes at the time of her disappearance. This detail stands out to me because her mother wouldn't know what clothing she left the house in because she didn't see her when she left. Plus, she said her Ring doorbell camera wasn't functioning. During an interview with Antonio Rogers, Janiyah's father, he explained that CPS contacted him earlier in the year and he was told Janiyah was pregnant by a family member, the aunt's child's father. He expressed it's not a rumor and it was proven with a kit. A few months later, Janiyah was reported missing. Is this just a coincidence? Antonio Rogers and Janiyah's grandmother, Latanya Rogers, hired a private detective, Kevin Collins, who goes by the name of KC Bodyguard. Jasmine would eventually try firing the private investigator.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but you are not a private investigator, dog. Or you would be fired for sure, because private investigator means you don't bring anything you find to the internet. What?
Oh, Carla Henry. It wasn't like
big
that.
M, big M, big M. Nope, nope, nope. We're not addressing anything negative. Nope. Not one negative thing. All positivity. We're gonna let you know, if you see a negative, it's okay, but you get disrespectful, you getting banned. Again, disrespect me and Big M's yard, because again, we have a reputation to protect. That's all I'm gonna say. If you don't like it, just write on out. Period. Sorry, Big M, but no, you know what it is. We on our way. We have to conduct ourselves in a level of professionalism, because whoever this is, KC, why aren't you striking his page, KC? What are you doing? Like, he's literally putting five. That's a serious allegation. I'm just saying, this is weird though. But I'm no detective, but I'm about to put two and two together. I feel it.
Yeah, the one that she didn't hire. And we'll get into the why of that later. During the investigation by KC Bodyguard, he would visit Jasmine's house. There, he would ask Jasmine and her girlfriend a series of questions to figure out if they may have any information on Janiyah's whereabouts. Looking for anything that could lead to the safe return of Janiyah. He asked if she would go over the night in question and asked to see Janiyah's room. She showed him the empty coat hangers and where Janiyah seemingly dumped out her school supplies on the floor. But one detail stood out. Janiyah's bed didn't have any sheets or blankets on it. When confronted with this detail, Jasmine stated that she had just put them in the wash before he got there, but the investigator didn't smell laundry in the air. KC would go on to ask if Janiyah had social media or a cell phone. Jasmine and her girlfriend would both say no, she doesn't have either. That turned out not to be true because Janiyah's sibling would state that she's seen her talking on the phone at all times of the
Like, actually, I'm gonna go back on mute.
the day. This seemed to anger both Jasmine and Kiera. The investigator would go on and ask the couple if they knew of places where Janiyah might play. They directed him to an abandoned school around the corner, a strange place for kids to play. But he would search the abandoned school where her and her friends used to hang out. They would go on to search all areas of Gary, Indiana and East Chicago. During his investigation, he noticed Jasmine had a Ring camera, but Jasmine stated that the camera was turned off and wasn't in the abandoned school where her and the couple if they knew of places where Janiyah the couple if they at all times of the day. This seemed to anger both Jasmine and at all times. Put them in the wash before he got there, but the investigator didn't smell laundry in the air. KC would go on to ask if Janiyah had social media or a cell phone. Jasmine and her girlfriend would both say no, she doesn't have either. That turned out not to be true because Janiyah's sibling would state that she's seen her talking on the phone at all times of the day. This seemed to anger both Jasmine and Kiera. The investigator would go on and ask the couple if they knew of places where Janiyah might play. They directed him to an abandoned school around the corner, a strange place for kids to play. But he would search the abandoned school where her and her friends used to hang out. They would go on to search all areas of Gary, Indiana and East Chicago. During his investigation, he noticed Jasmine had a Ring camera, but Jasmine stated that the camera was turned off and wasn't in service. So here's my question. How did Jasmine know what clothing she left the house in? The investigator also discovered a history of Janiyah and the second oldest daughter running away from home. When Jasmine was asked about this, she would just laugh and say, "She ran away from home like I used to." What is going on in this house? Gary Police Department has been criticized for not helping in this case. There have been many reports of them not following up on tips and are just flat out ignoring family members. There was a petition raised to force the GPD to put out an Amber Alert. GPD says the case doesn't deserve an Amber Alert, but issued a Silver Alert. She's a 13-year-old girl. Issue the damn Amber Alert. For those that don't know the difference between an Amber Alert and a Silver Alert, the Silver Alert is modeled after the Amber Alert. The Amber Alert was created to help locate and safeguard missing children, like in Janiyah's case. However, in most states, the Silver Alert applies to the elderly, adults with a mental impairment, or both, depending on the state. So not sure why they issued a Silver Alert and not an Amber Alert. It just seems like a slap in the face. Janiyah's father tried numerous times to file a missing persons report, but was given the runaround by GPD. They asked did she go missing in Indiana or Chicago, but Janiyah resides in Gary, Indiana. Just take the damn report. Dahlia James, Janiyah's grandmother on her mother's side, has been searching nonstop for Janiyah. She's been going out every night for hours upon hours searching. She's very determined to bring her granddaughter home safe and sound. Now, according to the father, the last time anyone has actually seen Janiyah was on June, on the last day of school. Dahlia James stated she hadn't seen Janiyah since June 2. This is especially strange because Janiyah frequented that grandmother's house. This brings up an important question. Who can actually verify on the night of August 11th Janiyah was actually there? The only people that can verify this information would be Jasmine, her girlfriend Kiera, and the little kids. Could Jasmine and Kiera be lying? When asked about who could have last seen Janiyah, Jasmine immediately started pointing fingers at this little boy, Lakeith, who went to school with Janiyah. She claimed that Janiyah was being held against her will. She went on to accuse Lakeith and his mother of detaining her daughter.
So what we have to do is let Casey take the lead on everything. Whatever we get, we have to give to him so him and his team can do it. We are not going to get her by ourselves. They're not going to give us her. They're not going to give her to us. So let them, whatever lead you get, if you don't want to send it to me, send it to him and let them take the lead. Because the boy just called him. He ain't calling us. They're the one offering the reward money now. So now they're really going to give him information. So he has to take the lead on everything. I'm even stepping back and letting him do his thing. Now that we know that she's being held against her will with this McKeith guy, we can't do shit but let him take lead, or we're going to go pick her up and we're going to have to put her in a body bag, and I don't want that.
Jasmine and her mother would aggressively harass Lakeith to the point where police were called. Jasmine never expressed the reason why she believed Lakeith had something to do with it, or why him and his mother would be holding her captive. With tensions mounting, the private investigator was able to set up a meeting for Jasmine and Lakeith's mother to get on the phone and talk out their disagreements. Lakeith's mother agreed to the call because she wanted to prove that she had nothing to do with Janiah's disappearance. She was tired of her and her children getting harassed every day. She just wanted to clear her name, so they agreed to set a time for a conference call. But when the time came, Jasmine ignored the calls and simply wouldn't pick up. She flat out refused to talk to Lakeith's mother. The investigator would ask Lakeith and his mother to join a live to get her side of the story and a chance to clear her name.
I really wish she was at my house and I would have knew she was safe. And I keep telling your people when they first came over here, I really wish they would have let you get in contact with me. And I asked them before y'all even started bringing the police over here, if they want to walk through my house themselves, and me and my family could have stepped outside, I would have had no problem. But like I said, I really wish she was at my house and I knew she was safe. And I'm sorry y'all going through this.
The following day, after the live, Jasmine would attempt to fire Kevin Collins, aka KC Bodyguard, as the private investigator. But he wasn't hired by Jasmine. He was hired by LaTanya, Janiah's grandmother on her father's side. Ultimately, Lakeith and his family was investigated and cleared of any wrongdoing. At this time, they are not implicated in the disappearance of Janiah. Once they were cleared, the fingers pointed back to Jasmine, and that was just the first red flag. The second red flag would be when Jasmine would go on to tell investigators that Janiah and the second oldest daughter were repeatedly by Jasmine's sister's boyfriend or child's father, and that she didn't report it or do anything to protect them. Is this true? Why would she continue to allow her children over there? And could he be the father of Janiah's child? The third red flag was when the investigator and search team would go out searching and attempt to raise awareness. Jasmine wouldn't attend. She would always decline. She stated it's because she had warrants and didn't want to deal with the police. Now, I don't know about you, but if my child's missing, I'm getting out there and I'm searching. I'm spreading her name out there. I'm getting awareness out there. I don't care about warrants. I'm turning the city upside down. It just seemed like her daughter wasn't a priority to her, and she wasn't taking this serious. The fourth red flag was when the investigator asked Jasmine to put together a video to raise awareness of her daughter's disappearance. Of course, Jasmine declined, stating that she doesn't know what to say in the video, so the investigator would have to tell her what to say. And this was the video that was produced.
What up? Boy, KC again. Currently out here in Gary, Indiana again, looking for a 13-year-old girl that's been missing since Sunday. This is the mom, and she want to tell you a little bit more about her daughter.
My daughter's name is Janiah McMichael. She's 13 years old. She's about 4 feet tall. She was last seen leaving home off of Virginia Street in Gary, Indiana, around Sunday night. If y'all have any leads, Janiah, if you see this baby, you can come home. Please come home. That's all we want. We want to know that you're safe and that you are okay. If you don't want to come home to me, reach out to an aunt, reach out to one of your grandmas, cousins, somebody to let us know that you are okay. We want you and we want to come get you, please.
Share this. Don't just let this, don't just watch this. Share this, man. Help us spread the word. Bring her home. This is a real life situation. This ain't no joke. So, you call in with tips, please. It'll be serious tips.
Yes, please.
You don't have time for the games. share this. Help us. If you want to help, get out here search. Feel free to inbox me, DM me, call me, 773-983-2808. Need to bring her home now. Indiana to Illinois, I need everybody on board again with tagging the news stations, radio stations, the governors, the mayors, everybody needs to be on board.
Please, Janiyah, come home. That's all we want. We out here searching, and we're not going to stop until we get you home.
She wasn't emotional in the video at all, which I know everyone processes emotions and grief differently, but with all of the other red flags that have been adding up, I find this to be strange. Jasmine has been quoted as saying she doesn't want any attention around her missing daughter. She doesn't want her story on the news, the radio, and doesn't want it on social media. So she's really gonna hate me making this YouTube video. She doesn't want to raise awareness in any way, and I wonder why. The fifth red flag, Jasmine stated that Janiyah does not have a cell phone, so they're unable to track her whereabouts.
Crazy work, man. This is crazy. Like, what? So very sad. Those red flags say a lot. Yeah, the red flags definitely say a lot. Man, I hope they make, because, it's 2026. We're going to have to come up with a new law about, this internet and compromising the integrity of cases and the, hindering cases, because it's like we don't really know, because we're not law students. We're not supposed to be trying to crack the case. We're trying to just bring awareness. And I'm sorry, but Casey is not, whoever keeps referring to him as a private investigator, he is not a investigator. No, he is not. If I was him, I would be mad that someone's putting that out there about me, because that's a big allegation. Those are some super duper great higher up credentials, and hence the private investigator. Private investigators aren't here on the internet investigating a private investigator case. So I would be checking him, Casey. Or her, because it's easy just to put a girl or boy face up there with whatever name, with a robot voice. Like, what? It's the internet. I want to know who's behind these two pages. I'm going to find out. I want to know. This is weird.
Using cellular data, but her little sister stated to the investigator that she had a phone and she used it constantly. The sixth red flag, she initially said she noticed her daughter was missing at 12:45 a.m. when she got up to use the bathroom and didn't report it until 8 hours later. That seems a little odd to me. But she would go on later and tell a news reporter that she didn't notice her daughter missing until she got the kids up for school the next morning. The seventh red flag. One day out of the blue, Jasmine would send a screenshot of a vehicle to the private investigator. She claimed that Janiyah got into this car with someone. The investigator reviewed this footage and he cannot see her get into the car with anyone. The car didn't even come in front of the house. The video footage didn't even show Janiyah at all. Still no proof that Janiyah left the house on her own volition. The eighth and final red flag, and let's be honest, there's probably going to be a lot more. Jasmine didn't really want her children anymore. Yes, you heard that correct. Jasmine did not want to be a mother anymore. And text messages reveal she discussed giving up her children to DCFS. In a text message, she said her girlfriend wasn't the reason why she wanted to give her kids to the state, but she made a reference to her children causing issues in her relationship with Kiera. Was she being pressured by Kiera to get rid of her children? Or was this a scheme that she hatched on her own? So with that, let's get into some theories on this case. Be sure to leave a comment on what you think happened. My first theory is Janiyah went missing back in June when school ended. She may have gotten into an argument with her mom because Her mom found out she was pregnant, and she actually attempted to beat the baby out of her, just like she mentioned to the investigator. And in the process, she accidentally killed Janiyah. I think Jasmine might only be reporting her missing now because school was starting that day. And when Janiyah doesn't show up to school, officials will be knocking on her door asking about Janiyah. She already has CPS applying pressure to her, and she knew it would just be a matter of time. My next theory is that maybe Janiyah ran away. It sounds like the house was toxic and evil, and she could have fled for many possible reasons. Maybe she was pregnant and didn't want to bring her child into that environment. She has a cell phone. Maybe she met up with someone. There was a sighting of her on the 6900 block of South St. Lawrence Street in Chicago's West Woodland, where Jasmine McMichael formerly resided before moving to Gary, Indiana. Now, Jasmine doesn't have any family residing in that area, so it may just be a coincidence that she was sighted there. During Dahlia James's search efforts, there's been reports of a couple harassing the search team, following them around, calling them names, just really dirty type behavior. I don't know if that amounts to them exhibiting some form of guilt, or if they're just adult trolls, but something doesn't sit right with me. And now it's been said that Janiyah is 4 to 5 months pregnant, but who was the father? The answer to the question of what happened to her could be solved if they knew who the father was. Was it the aunt's child's father? Could they be trying to hide the fact that he got her pregnant? Maybe she threatened to tell, and they just couldn't have that happen. And my last and final theory is that the mother and girlfriend just outright killed her and are covering it up for reasons unknown. Maybe she was cramping their style, or maybe she was hard to control because she was the oldest. But what do you think? Let me know in the comment section. Kevin Collins, aka KC Bodyguard, doesn't charge to help these families. He performs investigations out of his own pocket, so please donate to his cause. He helps these families find their loved ones and doesn't ask for a thing in return. To send your support, you can Cash App him at $KC Bodyguard 1, or look for that information in the description.
I don't know, but something smells funky, and I'm gonna figure it out because I'm gonna be bored, and we're gonna end it like we always do. Good old Winnie the Poohski, Christopher Robin, y'all. You're smarter than you think. By golly, you're braver than you believe, and you're stronger than you seem. By golly. That was a little remix from yours truly, yours truly, JJ, the remix. It might be the mother to want to get rid of your children is crazy, but yeah, give them to Leo who will love them. See, my thing is like, I don't really understand. It's like, it's this weird. It's like she just woke up one day. It sounds like a play to me. Like, cause it's like, she just woke up one day. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I have to look at, cause it's just not this shit just ain't. A lot of it just ain't making sense. A lot of it, in my opinion.
And man too.
So don't trip. We're gonna, do our little twiddle twat things on the keyboards back here in the studio and do what we do best. So yeah, remember y'all, it's all love over here, and it's real over here, and it's real respectful over here. We can have our own opinions, and we can agree to disagree, but what we won't do is disrespect, you know? So yeah. I hope y'all be real smooth with it. Real cool with it. And most importantly, as true as you can be with it. Big Mama, real quick, she says, to people who will love them, if she doesn't want to do anything to find her or help, doesn't make sense. Yeah, it's given,
Michelle Blarish.
yeah, and it's given, it's given sus. But again, I don't want to compromise this case probably already than it already is. So I'm not gonna state my opinion, and you know, that's why I think we're gonna start doing a lot unless we're doing updates on certain cases. We're gonna be talking about cases that have already been sentenced, because until you know, we get better at conducting ourselves, you know, because we want to do the best we can when we advocate. So it's a little different when, you know, you talk about the person when the man's already, or the woman is already locked up, because you can't hinder the case. You know? If you know, you know. So, again, it's all love, y'all. Be real smooth, cool, and true. Big M.
Peace.
In my Big M voice, mental health is real, and peace. Good night, good night, good night.
wanna say